do we wait for the MC or I just
Yeah, I think you
uh,
just start, Pak Rudi, because
can I start?
there's already
Okay,
25 people in the
let
session.
me start. Thank you, host MC Melissa, for your nice introduction. Let us now start today's interesting third panel discussion. With we have three prominent panelist speakers. Let us now invite and greet our three panelists: Ibu Yuna Davina from Lion Superindo, Pak Maulana Christanto from ruparupa.com, and Bapak Handika Hakim from Bank Mandiri, that will discuss interesting topic on how to deliver great customer experience with data analytics, AI, and probably later we talk about metaverse. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Good afternoon. Now let me introduce myself as Rudi Rusdiah, Chairman of APDI, Association of Big Data and AI. I'm also the Chief Editor of magazine Komite.ID and CEO of PT Micronic Indonesia, as your moderator for this morning fourth digital summit on how to deliver great customer experience with data analytics, AI, and later also with metaverse. For your information, APDI is an association. We held many web summit. The next one will be One Data Indonesia 2022 and IGAF 2022, talking about data integrity in the era of metaverse on the 5th and 7th July. Next month, you are all invited and registered at APDI website www.apdi.it. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us start by greeting each of all of the three prominent amazing panelists that will later discuss interesting topic about how to deliver seamless and greater customer experience with data analytics and AI. Ladies and gentlemen, let us start by greeting our first panelist, Bu Yuna Davina, the GM Enterprise Data Analytics from Lion Superindo. Hello, Bu. Hello, Bu Yuna.
Halo Pak, good
Please,
morning.
good morning. Please give a short intro about you and Lion Superindo, Bu.
Okay, thank you Pak Rudi. Hi everyone, good morning to you all. My name is Yuna Davina. I am the General Manager of Enterprise Data Analytics for PT Lion Superindo. We are the entity of the brand Superindo, a national supermarket chain. If you live in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta or Sumatra, I'm sure you are familiar with our stores. If not, please let us know because it means there is homework for me to do on the awareness. So we currently have more than 200 stores in Jakarta and Sumatra regions. Me, myself, I joined the company about 2 years ago in the spirit of joining the visions of integrating data and optimizing insights and business recommendations by using multi-sources of data, be it our internal performance, the market data, or any other party data that we have. And being a person who is always into analytics, I was excited to start the journey of the data team here as much as everybody else is in the company. But along the way, we learned that the process itself is definitely not easy. We are facing challenges of capability, resources, and also alignment. So right now, I think in my humble opinion itself, the FMCG retailers like us is probably the second, if not the last batch to join the big data train, the whole things. So we're just starting the whole things, being the conventional business of selling daily needs. We are starting to get the grip of what is this whole big data thingy, and we are starting to map our path to it. I think that's it, Pak.
Yeah. So you have 200 Superindo stores, right? So you
Right,
have a vast network of store, brick and mortar store. So it's a huge resources that you have to manage with your big data, is that right?
it is, Pak.
Yeah. Thank you for your interesting introduction, Bu Yuna. Now we move to the second panelist, Bapak Maulana Christanto, Head of CX Rupa-Rupa.com. Hello, Pak Maulana. Good
Hello, Pak
afternoon.
Rudi. Good
Please
afternoon.
briefly introduce you and Rupa-Rupa.com.
Okay. Yes, hello everyone. So
Hello.
my name is Maulana Christanto. I'm the head of customer experience from rupa-rupa.com. So rupa-rupa.com is the e-commerce for Kawan Lama Retail Group. So underneath us, there's a Ace Hardware, Informa, Toys Kingdom, Ataru, Pendopo, Chatime, even so. So we have a lot of brick and mortar store. We have almost like 600 brick and mortar store across Indonesia. So Rupa Rupa is a part of the e-commerce business from the Kawan Lama. Yeah, if we thought about analytics, Rupa Rupa from 2016, we already use analytics from the beginning. That's why we have a lot of improvement using that data analytics and behavior of customers. That's why I think for now, customers know about Rupa Rupa is selling home and living furniture. But actually, we have much more from that. But yeah, for now, we can say that we are the omni-channel for Kawan Lama Retail. That's all, Pak Rudi.
Thank you. So you have 600
Stores, brick and
network
mortar
of
stores. Yes.
stores, Kawan Lama, Ace Hardware,
Toys.
Informa, very interesting furniture store, right?
Yes, yes, Pak
Yeah,
Rudi.
it's a fast network also. We saw it in many city in Indonesia, and also it's a brick mortar store that you also have to manage. Uh, it's a fast network, right?
Yes,
So you have lots of data from your store, from the
yeah,
traditional relational database probably.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
very interesting.
yeah.
Thank you, Pak Maulana. Now, last but not least, we move to our last and but most important panelist is Pak Handika Hakim, Head of Wholesale Banking Data Analytic Bank Mandiri. Please introduce yourself, Pak Hakim, and also your Bank Mandiri.
Okay, thank you, Rudi. Good afternoon, everyone, and all the panelists and all of the attendees in this event. It's an honor for me to be here and represent my company. My name is Handika Hakim. I lead the Wholesale Banking Analytics Department under the Enterprise Data Analytics Group in Bank Mandiri. So my past experience is I recently joined in. This is my third year in this bank. I was in the global bank and regional bank before with a strong exposure in data analytics to consumer business. And currently, my focus is to helping the bank to drive positive growth with the portfolio, leveraging the data within our bank. And in Bank Mandiri, currently we have about 2,500 branches across the nation and roughly about 15,000 ATM across the nation as well. And I think we just launched a new touch point as part of our customer journey improvement, which is Livin and Copra. So Livin is one of our platform that just recently delivered to our customer. Basically, is a complete ecosystem with our bank integrated with our ecosystem in the bank. And we are this is one of the platform that we think that are ready for open platform with another different industry and different financial player or even the travel and airline. And I think with the this is this platform is actually is part of our digital transformation journey with the bank. And because we in our bank currently our focus is really integrating between our core strength of the corporate and commercial banking or wholesale business with the retail businesses. So I think that's the bit of introduction on me and my company. Pak Rudi, thank you.
So we have again another huge network of bank. So you have 600 branches, right? 600 branches with 250 branches. and
To 2,500, Pak. 2,500.
2,500
Yeah.
branches, and
Yeah.
also how many ATM? 80,000?
About 15,000.
15,000 of ATM. Wow,
Yeah.
it's so you have a huge data source, right? From all your from the branch from your branches, from the ATM. Yeah, very very interesting. So thank you, Pak Hakim, for your nice introduction, as well from all the panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, since we have a tight agenda, we are between lunch, so let me immediately start with the background and overview of this panelist session. Looking at the trend and benefit of customer journey, it is likely that metaverse, AI, with machine learning and big data will have a huge impact in for enhancing your customer experience in the future digital world. We will look at how probably the panelists will also discuss about how we can improve the customer journey with data analytics, AI, or even metaverse. Is big data, AI, or even metaverse, is it still a hype? This is also our question. Will metaverse represent the entire customer journey and ecosystem of the virtual world, augmented today's real world, like your brick and mortar store, customer experience, which are designed actually deeper and more complex by the current cyberspace and social e-commerce ecosystem. Actually, if we look at the Google Map, it's a classic example of a traditional metaverse Google Map or Waze, where our avatar car actually can travel in the metaverse. Actually, it is a metaverse map as we travel in the real world with because it is equipped with the GPS positioning and augmented. So you are really in the Google Map. Actually, we call it now metaverse, so that when you are entering a tunnel, it will be dark, and then when we exit the tunnel, it will be light. So it is really the environment is all integrated in your smartphone, because your smartphone will be the metaverse of the and the avatar is you or either your car, your avatar. Yeah. So actually we have used metaverse already for some time, when we are using the Google Map, when we are using the Waze application, going from one point to another. Now we are talking about how big data and AI can improve and harmonize omni-channel, so it is seamless experience for every channel of your that are used by your customer, that your customer choose, and how we can improve the conversion to monetizing this omni-channel. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, before we start with more detailed speech from our distinguished panelists, let us review moderator housekeeping rule. Next, every panelist will have 5 to 8 minutes maximum of either speech, either or presentation, and then after completion of all three panelists' speech or presentation, then we will continue the session with discussion between moderator and panelists, followed by interesting question, maybe if we have time from the audience, only if we have time, and then the moderator will close the panel discussion. And if time permitted, we will ask each speaker to give a final one short key takeaway from each panelist to the audience. Otherwise, we will wrap up the panel discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us continue this panel discussion. We are pleased to invite our first panelist, Ibu Yuna Davina, SGM Enterprise Data Analytic from Lion Superindo, to share her view on personalizing the retail channel using data analytic to increase customer basket and more accurate customer centricity or customer centric. You may use slide if you wish. Please share your thought and screen, and the screen and time is yours, Miss Yuna.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Rudi. Thank you. I think I'm just gonna have this on conversational
Yeah.
basis. So yeah, feel free to jump in anytime you feel like you
Okay.
have anything to add. So let me speak for the retailer industry, and even if it is so, I probably cannot speak for the rest of the retailers other than my companies. But let me give you a hint of, I think, how the past 3 years has changes in a sense of big data analytics. Like I said previously, FMCG retailers like Superindo, to name one, was probably the second or the third batch, if not the last, to join the big data train, to come aboard to the big data train. One of the reasons was because we ourselves have a very conventional business as our main growth drivers. We are selling basic needs, right? We are selling cooking oils, rice, and powder milk, and stuffs. I do not mean to boast or anything, but we become what we sell become the thing that will always be listed in people's spending. Even when the pandemic hit in 2020, again, I cannot say for other retailers, but actually the market was in our favor. The hit on the economy made people cut their budget for spending, but not for us. They are still buying, they are cutting everything, but not daily needs. So the market is probably in us.
On your side.
So, ya, ya kan ya Pak, gitu kan.
Yeah,
So
betul.
for us itself, of course there was adjustment, but still, unlike any other industry, travel or stuff, we are not got rid of. We simply have to make adjustment of what it is, and that's what made us realize that, okay, this is where we need to change. What was no longer in one person's basket might be the things that is being stocked up in another person's basket. That customers might probably visited the stores less often because of the mobility restrictions, and they probably visit the stores also in a shorter length of time. So it is important to know their frequencies and changes in the length of their shopping, so we could design the right offering for them. Whether it is still all right to have a promotions in the middle of the week, for example, or should we push everything at the beginning of the month for the salaries, because now they only visit us on during the salary week, for example, is like that. Hence, the big data come in. We realized that the sources of all this was actually from the data coming from our customer itself, and it's there. The data is there. It's just up to the before the pandemic. Let's just say that it was never really being used. It was there, but we are not really seriously looking into it. And with all this, some adjustment time, we are thankful that we are one of the industry that I think survived the pandemic. But we do realize that, like I said, some adjustments will need to be done. I'm not talking about probably for other. Fast forward to this time. Speaking of data, I'm not in a position. I don't think we can speak of other metaverse things, such as, for example, the AR or stuff, or the VR stuff for us. We are starting very small. We are taking baby steps in it. What we are doing right now is we are trying to profile our customers to find out who they are, what they buy, how often they are, digging into our own data to get the right offering for them, for each one of them. Of course, like everybody else said, the personalized offer will always be the golden goal of it. So that's what we are trying to move on, in a sense of the big data analytics in the retailers' words. I think for other things I would say it will be the next priority, but right now we are focusing all the big data analysis to map our customer, who they are exactly, and what is exactly their behavior when visiting the stores. because yeah, like I said, adjustment. Customers will always come to our stores. Probably they just love to shop in the stores directly instead of doing it online or sometimes. But we, as the industry players, we need to change in a sense that these customers no longer spending the same way they do before the pandemic. So there are something that needs to change in the sense of we are treating our customers. And that is where the big data analysis and the retailers, especially the FMCG retailers, is focusing on right now, Pak. Yes, it is a baby steps when compared to the banking. Probably Pak Handika is already very advanced of it. I think Pak Maulana is already also. It started with with an online stores, right? So I believe these two guys is already way ahead of us. We are taking baby steps, but we are moving towards that direction, Pak. I think that's
Yeah,
what I can.
yeah, very, very interesting because actually big data is about the new unstructured data. Previously, we are using the relational database book, like the
Mm.
yeah, like the SQL server, and then after that, because of this unstructured, so many unstructured data that we will analyze. That's why we are moving, and the data becomes so large that we are moving to the big data Hadoop, and use, but we still use the traditional data warehouse with the SQL server, but now the new big data like the Hadoop can also have the SQL or the features of this structured data, which is actually very important because especially for Superindo, where most of the you still have so many brick and mortar store which produce very, very good data analytic for your from your store. Yeah, is that right? From your uh, using your relational database. And how do you monitor the frequent buyer so that, and also to do up, so you can increase the basket, the upsell, and also customer retention, Bu?
Yeah, that is part of the big data, the customer, let's just say the customer analytics that we are working on. Luckily, Superindo has started this journey about 3 years ago. Before the pandemic start, we started our loyalty systems in which we have the digital apps for our members, in which every time they made the transaction, we ask them to scan out the apps, the barcode in the apps, just like any other retailers. And by now, we already have 3 year trend of that data. It should be sufficient to be analyzed. So coming to the retentions of the customers, we are expecting, of course, all the once we figure out who are these people, what they buy, and what is Pak Rudi buy would be different from what is Pak Maulana buy, right? What will be interesting for Pak Handika would be different from Pak Maulana. For example, Pak, you might be interested in mineral water, but Pak Maulana might be interested in coffee. So I could not offer coffee promotion to you, Pak, because it will not suit with your profiles, right? So that's why that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to figure out to address each as personalized as possible, even if we are not, maybe we are not there yet. We are starting with the group targeting and everything, but we are hoping to get the retentions of the customers, to get the customers keep coming back to our store and increase their basket size by finding out on details who they really are and what they consume in our stores. And hopefully in the next step is we know that what they consume in other stores, so we could make them shop that things in our stores instead of the others, instead of our competitors.
Thank you, Yuna, for sharing your insight on how do you use the data analytic to improve your customer experience, increasing customer basket, and also how to how to make a retention of your customer. Thank you for your insightful thought on customer experience. Later in the discussion, we should also discuss more the challenge to use big data. Now let us move to the second panelist, Mr. Bapak Maulana Christanto from ruparupa.com. Please share your thought, Pak Maulana. The screen and time is yours.
Yes, so let me say the Rupa Rupa is an e-commerce platform that I said before for Kawan Lama group retail ya, and Kawan Lama is a brick and mortar store, and Rupa Rupa is e-commerce, so it's a different thing. But using analytics is already it's a major part of our business strategy from the start for Rupa Rupa. With data analytics, we build our growth and development milestone in every step of our ways. Such as in our website is launched in February is 2016. You using internally, and then we ask for them, and then when they shop, what they behavior. That's why we creating a program. The first time is the pickup in store program. We call it store pickup service, which is developed based on their inquiry that need more convenient method that way they want to go to the shop or buy it online. So every analytics that in Rupa Rupa is going moving forward to the new customer behavior trends, such as in the pandemic period, we have a lot of insight that actually the customer cannot go to the store, and then also our store.
I think it is freeze, Pak.
It's freezing.
Pak Maulana. I think your
Create
screen
an
is freeze. Okay, continue, Pak.
Okay, oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's okay
so
now.
we creating, yeah, so we're creating an apps. We call it store mode apps for the store team, so they can work, sell product anytime and anywhere with our internal apps. But the main thing is that all the customer data is we collect, and then we know their behavior in the pandemic. And then when this the pandemic start to be an endemic and then starting to end, we have all the data, and then we know how to personalize them and how to create more uh, special communication for our customer. So by improving our customer experience with data analytics, so we create like an hyper personalizing system that every customer have a different communication program. So that's why the analytics is a bigger part of us, and also being better experience in online and offline is creating new ways the customer shop. Now in Rupa Rupa, we call it online. We call it omni-channel, or we call it the online O2O. But every customer can shop in online and also shop in offline. So it's become in our blood actually. The analytics become in our blood, and we're using the big data for analyze that. Also using the big data for prediction for the inventory, smart logistic, and everything. So everything using the data analytics. But the big challenges is actually because Kawan Lama is from the offline store or brick and mortar store. So we have on-premise data. Maybe Pak Rudi mentioned about how Hadoop can do from the traditional data.
Yeah.
So we have on-premise data and rupa-rupa in on-cloud data. So we create a seamless transforming data from using Airflow, Pak, actually from our on-premise, and then we using the AWS environment. We create the analytics and create a real-time dashboard and create an alert system for all online and offline business. Uh, and also our biggest challenge rather than data is people, because offline people we even have a term in our internally said the offline people is the earth people and our rupa-rupa is the cloud people, jadi orang bumi dan orang
Orang bumi,
langit.
orang langit.
Yes. So but eventually we manage that, the understanding both online and offline customers, and understanding all the customer with using data is beneficial for both not online, but not online only, but also for offline. Now they are already becoming now becoming the cloud people also. So everyone needs the data, and then we also provide the store team with the data analytics. So I think what we're trying to do is creating a seamless experience with analytics through online and offline. So customers can choose wherever they want to go, if go to Rupa Rupa or go to Esarter or go to Informa. I think that the biggest part of analytics in our company, Parudi.
Yeah, very interesting, Pak Maulana. So your kawan lama, the brick and mortar store is your on-premise. So you have an on-premise data center, is that right?
Yes, yes.
Server. Uh, is it centralized or in every store?
Centralized, Pak. In
Centralized, yeah.
our head office, headquarter in
Okay, so you have
Kembangan.
an on-premise data center where
Yes,
you have collecting all the structured relational
yes,
database,
yes,
and then with the big data, and you are using cloud,
yes,
Amazon,
yes.
AWS
AWS services.
S3 cloud, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, Pak,
Yeah,
betul, Pak. Yes,
for your, yeah, and then you collect the data from the store apps,
yes,
data point from the store apps also, uh, and creating your personalized, so you can do your personalized analytic
yeah.
from these apps, ya Pak ya.
Yeah, yeah. So the data also taken by the store team as a tools to how to reach the customers better. So we have a segmentation, right? Like if you go to the store and then they already know you. Oh, Parudi, how are you? Oh, I think you should buy this one, because they know the behavior Parudi behavior. So we provide the data to our store team, so they become like that. We saw it. They all already become a cloud people now because they're using all the tools at their phone, at their apps to grab more customer experience to in the offline customers.
Yeah. So in the brick mortar store, you are using the data to do your loyalty,
Yeah.
to do the retention customer,
Yes.
frequent buyer,
Yes.
to analyze this, yeah, to increase your
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all your
We create.
store promotion.
Yeah, we create a machine learning methodology. So we
Oh.
create a personalization
Mhm.
from scratch,
Mhm.
using the AWS environment,
Mhm.
Parodi. So the personalization is creating by our own team. So what they usually buy, and then what the trend buy in our store, and what the trend buy in each uh, subsidized store. Like if customer go to Ace, usually they want buy something like genset. Oh, so actually, oh, maybe the customers is building something like office. So we provide them the data for Informa. So we provide them the office needs. So that's kind of analytics and uh, personalization that we built from our internal team.
Yeah, with the cloud, with the AWS, big data seems to be in the back office, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
you just
already.
use the tools.
Yeah,
Because in AWS we have a lot of AI tools
yeah,
that you can use it, yeah, to analyze your
yeah,
data.
yeah,
Yeah. So every big data actually become in the background. Hadoop, not too many people now has to set up the Hadoop nodes, but
yeah,
more on but you can all AWS provide you the tools, right,
yes,
to set up your big data.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pak Maulana, for sharing your thought. Last but not least, and it's very important, let us now invite the third panelist, Pak Handika Hakim, Head of Wholesale Banking Data Analytics from Bank Mandiri, to deliver his speech. You can use also slide, Pak Mandiri, to how and show how Bank Mandiri implement the big data analytic and from when you share the slide, I saw the case study of Livin ya Pak ya.
Yes, Pak.
Livin big digital bank application brand. So please welcome and share your insight Pak Hakim. The screen and time is yours.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Pak Rudi and everyone. So I think data is been like is a really like a new oil. I think nowadays all electricity is a new oil. So hence is the data is like a renewable energy for us, right? Basically, that's the concept that we took to our heart, right? The we we saw this important of the data is in the beginning of 2015, where we start really small in the very small use cases. We start off really with the small PC. So we have like 17 PC with the open source Hadoop, and then all the way to 2017 when we actually come up with the enterprise Hadoop or HDFS. And then currently in 2022, we because we have so many integrated data from a different source and from a different channel. So we have reached about 8,000 terabyte or 8 petabyte of data.
Wow.
And in that sense, we during that time we saw there's lot of use cases and a lot of importance on delivering the value from the data. Hence, we use several tools to to basically understand our customer better and delivering our offer or our promotional with the right time and right context. Now, and going forward, we because we undergone digital transformation in our bank, we try sort of like I would say like the future model is could be like a tech company with a banking license. I think the audience here must be hearing it a lot in the market, where the banks are trying to goes to the technological perspective, but we have the banking license. So basically, we really play out in the service area and most value added. What is the value added for our customer? That is the concept where we embark this journey and up until now. And nowadays, when we have several of new platform aligning with our digital transformation, we believe that having comprehensive banking experience is very important for us, and is a promise for us for our customer. And I think because our group is there's a several subsidiary within our group, and how we can actually leverage our banking ecosystem and integrate with other financial services in our ecosystem. Or because currently I think that one of the trend is also the open ecosystem, how we can actually integrate the existing customer in our bank with different ecosystem, which is in traveling or in FMCG or in different case. Now, so that's why we develop Livin as our platform to create those cohesion and integration, right? And coming with that open ecosystem and the full suite of the financial service, really the integration of the data and ingestion of data or creating more data is been like like exponential growth in my perspective, right? Uh, we try to really understand our customer like holistically, so based on their behavior, based on their pattern, based on their spending. So I think like Pak Maulana saying that we need to deliver customer experience with the right context and with the right approach, and given in the right time, and as well as I think being time sensitive to the customer. And I think as a result, when we develop our big data as well as alongside the journey, we also improving our customer experience using AI. So I think one of the there are I think several machine learning use cases that we implement in our banks, basically to give out I think to maximize the customer potential basically. So in a sense where we are giving offer to the customer, it is has to be in the right context. So I think some of the use case delivering the right context is with the real time. Basically, we adopt several method coming from the I think well known like YouTube or Netflix. So for instance, if I could give you illustration, what I am seeing in YouTube must be different from Pak Rudi or Pak Maulana or Bu Yuna, right? So that is how we try to personalize the offer on each of everyone. So I think in our apps at the moment, this is like practical example. You will see different kind of offer based on your behavior, and if you don't have those behavior, this is they are the people who mirroring your behavior. Hence, it is one way to look at what is the suitable offer that we can give. So, and I think going forward, we are also anticipating a lot of development. I believe with several new integration of the system and new platform, the growth of the data will be exponential, and hence with the growth with the exponential growth, we believe there will be a lot of use cases, a lot of potential to be uncovered and to reach the unreachable customer. So that is, I think, one of the key that to use the AI to you basically reaching the unreachable customer. I think that's the highlight, Pak Rudi.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Pak.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak Handika Hakim, for your insightful presentation on Bank Mandiri. You also mentioned about the roadmap of your Hadoop big data implementation, Pak. It's very interesting journey, starting from 17 ya, Pak ya? 17 commodity server
Yes.
using open source
Yeah.
in 2015. Were you there at that time, Pak?
It's an open source, Pak. So
Yeah,
it's starting from the small project
project. Yeah.
where we at a time we don't know what is the value of those kind of big
Okay.
data to us.
Investment,
So
yeah.
we start off with small project, and I think we brought up to the top, and this is the value that we could deliver with the data, small use case, and they see the value, and eventually it's become a company roadmap up until at the moment.
And now you have 49 nodes, right? With 8,000 terabyte data.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
approximately what
It's
50
still,
notes or
yeah, it's using enterprise, yeah, enterprise.
enterprise.
Are you using on-premise cloud or any provider, Pak? Uh,
Oh, okay. For provider, the platform itself is the Cloudera data platform, and we are 100% on premises because we cannot.
yeah, everything.
There are regulation that
Yeah,
allowing not allowing us to
yeah,
have the offshore data. So everything is onshore and within our premises and fully protected and secure.
yeah. Because the OJK regulation
That is correct.
for banking is very special. You have to have actually onshore. You have to have on premise because we are talking about customer. We are talking about data is money. Money is data, right?
That
It's
is correct, Pak.
it's all yeah, very must be very secure, reliable, trusted by the customer, and you are also using machine learning and AI, right?
That is correct, Pak. For our use cases and for our offer, and we also implement not only on the marketing side, but we also using for operational side. To improve our let's say like placement or ATM or branches or transformation on our digital branches. We use our data as part of the journey.
Yeah, security is also a lot of people also now using machine learning and AI for your cyber security, right? To protect your ATM because you can't
Yes.
use anymore satpam. So everything must be using AI, and yeah, and then probably your application like your product like Livin is actually a seamless CX journey, right? A digital banking journey.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
I
we
think,
believe that with Livin that it's will answer that the needs of our customer. We create. I think our bank create Livin also based on the what is the typical journey, or we start off with what customer need and what is the pain point of our customer, and we know that I think nowadays we do not want to come to the banks to do the banking,
yeah,
but we still need the banking as our daily activity.
yeah,
So hence we brought the bank into your palm or into your
smartphone,
mobile. So basically
smartphone.
that's the concept. And I think how we can actually create offer and create more hyper personalized offer to your site. So we leverage your behavior, your data, and basically we tailor the needs of the customer. We tailor based on the needs of the customer, Pak.
Yeah, this is a very very interesting era where brick and mortar banking become fintech technology company, right?
Yeah,
Regulated by the OJK, and then the digital company, the technology company become the also going into the banking era, where all become fintech digital banking, right?
that is correct, Pak.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Very interesting, insightful presentation from the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, now after we have heard all the presentation from all the three distinguished and resourceful panelists, and we are actually very lucky. We have three different presentation from three different industry talking about the customer experience, retail side of the brick and mortar, and then also the online cloud from digital banking represented by Mandiri, Livin, FMCG, e-commerce by Lion Superindo and ruparupa.com, talking about the furniture and home appliances. Now, let me a little bit summarize. So, Lion Superindo talk about the use of data analytic and the trend for personalized offer in retail omnichannel, strengthening customer experience and increasing customer basket. And of course, the bottom line is the conversion from customer landing at your retail omni-channel or your retail shop to purchasing transaction to generate your revenue. And then Bank Mandiri talk about the roadmap from Hadoop ecosystem, starting from the commodity PC until the enterprise Hadoop, using the 8,000 terabyte data in 2022 with AI and machine learning, data analytic as enabler of digital transformation with case study from Living, and also we heard from ruparupa.com about how to integrate the store, the kawan lama, and also the online, the multi-channel with channel, oh yeah, multi-channel with the in the cloud with ruparupa.com. Okay, now let us move to the most interesting and interactive Q&A session with the moderator. Without further ado, let us start with three open questions, starting from the first speaker who from the first speaker Bu Yuna from Lion Superindo, and then Pak Maulana and ruparupa.com. Our first question is about, please share the portrait of your current big data and AI platform, and then probably also inform us how are you using the cloud or the private data center or on premise, and then what would be the future anticipated development of big data analytic AI. Maybe we start with Bu Yuna, please Bu Yuna.
Yeah, Pak. So, the future anticipated development of big data analytics, yeah. Well, of course, we are expecting that sooner or later, I think it will be sooner, that everybody else's will be in this business. I mean, everybody like Pak Handika and Pak Maulana already shared. I have to admit that listening to their presentations really amazed me of how much a data could do,
Yeah.
and then
Thank you.
how I realized that what a baby steps that we are still in right now. So we're hoping that we could get into their path as soon as possible. So anticipating that, of course, well, we'll put it this way: the customers is for FMCG right now is it's a little bit whether you, to some point they are predictable, to but to another point they are unpredictable. They are predictable in a sense of what things they buy for daily, for their monthly basis, but they are unpredictable in a sense of what actually drives them to go to a certain stores, what actually drives them to choose a certain brand instead of the others. Now, these are the things that we need to anticipate, the predicting the unpredictable, and I believe that's where the data comes in and play a very important role, just like what it did to Pak Maulana and Pak Handika's business. I think what they did is amazing. It's partly setting the business to another different level, and that is what I expect for the FMCG retailers to do. We are able to catch up with the development of the data itself, because well 8,000 terabytes, the
Yeah,
gigabytes or something like that.
that's very
It's a
good.
huge, yeah, it's a huge part
Huge.
for us. Yeah, for us, we couldn't even imagine how big it is. But currently, I think we already have like thousands, hundreds of thousand transactions on weekly basis. We need to start developing that as well. So yeah, the anticipation itself is more on the data itself will be snowballing, right? It gets bigger and bigger, and it gets more diverse, and it gets more complicated. But it needs to be leveraged. It needs to be used. Otherwise, it just sit there in the warehouse and become, well, just things that we pile up or piling up without nothing to be used for. I think that is from coming from me. I think I'm representing the industry that is still in the very early steps of this whole metaverse and big data thingy. Pak.
Yeah, thank you. So personalized analytic for your customer behavior at your store is very important, right? To increase the
Yes,
to
and
become
accelerating the analytic and the usage of this data itself. Accelerating is the key, I think, for
yeah,
now, Pak.
using data analytic for decision
Mm,
making, from unpredictable into predictable
yeah,
decision making, right?
yeah, Pak.
Yeah. Okay. So probably now, Pak Maulana, you can also with the same
Question.
question, Pak.
Yeah, so if you ask about our big data platform or AI platform, actually we are using the AWS environment, Pak Rudi. So everything we use in their service, yeah, they help us very much to creating the all big data processing and all the AI methodology creating the method. But yeah, we are developing a more personalized engine actually, yeah, so it's always improving, it's always iteration. So now we already can track every single user and create a custom communication for every customer with online and offline behavior. But more now they have a more new behavior, new trend,
Mm.
and also there's always a new method that we use. So actually we always improving our engine, we improving our maintaining our engine and improving our engine to become more convenient for the customer. But for now, we are using all the big data and AI for actually just personalization, also for smart logistic, Pak. So we also use for distribution channel how we can create a more efficient distribution channel for our distribution center and also for our customer, so they can get more cheap price and a more fast delivery. and also for our distribution center, how they can create more efficient workflow in our distribution center, and also our inventory prediction, because in Kawan Lama they have home living is a, it's a different behavior with groceries, right? So every uh, every area they have a different behavior. So we predict our inventory using the big data and AI. So how we can distribute this particular product to this area, because this like Makassar, they usually like colorful furniture. But Yogyakarta and Surabaya, they usually like more like black and white furniture. That
Mm.
how we can send all that kind of inventory to in every store, in
Yeah.
every store, and to provide the need for the customers. That I think that the most our newest development in big data and AI platform, Pak.
Yeah, because you can imagine company like Superindo or Kawan Lama has thousand of product, thousand
Yeah,
of vendors.
yeah,
Yeah, so the supply chain is so huge,
yeah, yeah,
and smart logistic will be very very important.
yeah,
Otherwise, to serve the customer ya Pak, ya
yeah,
Bu Yuna, also Pak Maulana, when we
yeah.
are when in the retail and this distribution very very into your stores is very very important. Now we go to Pak Hakim, please Pak. Same
Yes.
question Pak.
Yeah, okay, Rudi. Thank you, Pak. So
Yeah.
I think the portrait on our data, I think yes, we approximately have about 8 petabyte because we have like about 5,000 transaction per second, and that's why it's enormous. And I think the growth of data will be coming exponentially going forward. And I think in terms of platform also we use mix of I think the cloud data Hadoop is our fundamental, and we use several tools also to to do the data manipulation, crunching, and such, to extract the value from the data. And I think the future development, I think there are five future development that I could think of. It is in my personal opinion. The first one is I think the data volume definitely will go exponentially. It is I think this is happening across industry as well, as the I think the digital transformation or digital things are a hype at the moment, right? And the second one, I think in terms of banking, uh, I saw that there will be a lot of as a service concept. So we could leverage data and analytics to to create more value added and extended the service to our client or our customer. So it means we could also bring the analytics to our customer. For instance, when you would like to predict what is your needs to do some saving, if you have a plan for going overseas, that is also part of the perhaps a small analytical perspective to give to our client. And I think with the in terms of technology itself, I believe that I think the market for software could be disrupted by algorithm market, and because the open source nowadays are really to have play important part in the development, and community-based software could be contender to current existing market leader. And I think some of the development that we saw is company is equal data business. So more company will attempt to do data collection and create data collection, and hence drive value and revenue from data. So I think that is one of the trend. And I think for banking itself, that I think is quite interesting, is that the rise of tokenized and containerization. So I think the rise of the blockchain technology, I think it will turbocharge the needs for the fast data and smaller data to be leveraged and in the open ecosystem. So I think the role of I think in bottom line, I think one of the context that could be relevant to our banking is how I think one of the is democratize the data to definitely to external client or directly to the customer. Pak.
Wow, very interesting discussion, and
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience will learn a lot from three different industry, very interesting industry about your enterprise. Finally, I think we are run out of time. Finally, we completed this interesting Q&A and reached the end of this panel discussion session. I don't make any summary because you all has given so many insight and takeaway. Hoping that this event will give lots of insight and takeaway from this amazing and distinguished three panelists and also the audience. Let us give a round of applause to all the prominent panelists, speakers, sponsor, and all of us. So probably the moderate,
Yes,
the
hi.
organizer.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Hi, Rudy. Thank you very much for the, it's very nice to have you guys around.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much. Yeah, I'm giving a lot of claps here.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
emoji. Thank you, Handika and Maulana and Yuna. Thank you very much for all these
Thank
insights. Yeah.
you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
We have come to an end over in this session. Please do move over to the omni-channel and creative marketing session theaters, which is on the other side. So, thank you, and we see you soon, everyone, online and as well as offline.
Oke.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Terima
you.
kasih
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bapak-Bapak.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
Thank you,
much.
Bang
Bang
Thank you,
Yudi.
Mandiri,
Mari.
Pak Mana.